Hi, my name is Courtney, and let's start. Well, I guess I'm making this video because I suffer from trichotillomania, which those of you who don't know what it is, it's a mental disorder where you pull out your hair, and it's called, or the mania part of it at the end is called mania because it's supposed to give like a sense of pleasure. I guess I've had it all my life. Like most stuff online and things say that it's for, or it occurred, like people start getting it when they hit puberty and stuff. And for me, I've always had it. Like my dad said when I was little, I used to like pull at his like hair, and there's like Christmas videos of me when I was like 5 with like bald patches like in the back of my hair and stuff. And I used to, like I remember in like 2nd grade, one of my teachers like pulled me aside and she's like, hey, is everything like okay at home, you know, and stuff. And I just remember like I was like, yeah, everything's fine, but like I knew she was asking because you can see it. And in 6th grade, like for a really long time I didn't know what it was, and I thought I was the only one, so I was like horrified. Like I thought I was a freak, and I was really scared that, you know, people would find out. And I remember like elementary school kids, like I had one like right down here and where my part was, and you could tell because it was like a big white spot, like it wasn't like a thin little part that people are used to seeing. And I remember kids like saying like, oh, you have a bald spot, and my crush actually told me that one time. Like that was fun. And then like 6th grade, I found out, well, like my parents, like I watch a lot of like Mystery Diagnosis and stuff like that, and my parents found out, or they were watching something, and there was like a little girl who was losing her hair, and the doctors were like, well, what does she have, trick? And my parents looked it up, and my mom ended up telling me, and I think that was really when I started to like get worse. I mean, it's really sad to say, and I don't really like thinking about it, but I definitely lost a lot of the fight, and I started getting really, really bad. And like I'm kind of like, if I was a guy, I'd be one of those guys that like gets sympathy pregnant or whatever, because like when people tell me things, I start like subconsciously doing them too. Because like I remember one time when I was little, I used to have dreams where I would run, and it wasn't like the slow running, like I could actually run in my dreams. And then someone was like, do you know those dreams where you run really slow? And ever since then, in my dreams, I now run slow. So, I'm very, like, sympathetic, I guess. And, like, reading all the stuff online, like, they was talking about, like, most people, it's, like, scalp and stuff, which for me, that's what it was for a good 12 years of my life. And then I was reading, like, you know, like, eyebrows and eyelashes and stuff like that. Like, it's just not just, like, the scalp. And, like, it's also skin picking, which I've never done that. Thank goodness. Not only would I have bald patches, but I would have bloody spots. It's not funny, actually, but I don't know. Deal with something your whole life and tell me you don't have a sense of humor. Well, I guess, so after, like, I found out and stuff, I started pulling out my eyebrows and eyelashes, which was terrible, because have you ever seen, like, those pictures where people take, like, pictures of Selena Gomez, and, I'm gonna sit, they take pictures of, like, Selena Gomez and stuff, and they just like take away her eyebrows and things, and you just look at her and you're like, she looks like a bulldog. Well, I looked terrible. I will put pictures or something so you can see, but I had a really, really low self-confidence, and it was terrible. I am now a junior in high school, and that was a good 3 or 4 years. I had eyelashes and eyebrows in 6th grade, and like in the middle of 6th grade I started pulling those out, and I didn't have any like at all. And then 7th grade I still had like hair up here and stuff. I'll talk about this in a minute. But I still had hair, and I was a cheerleader, but I didn't have, like, I had like this was my eyebrows, just like this little portion right here. And but I put my hair up in a ponytail because, like I said, I didn't have any scalp issues then. I just had eyebrows and eyelashes. And I remember this one girl with really, really pretty eyes just looked at me and she's like, you have really pretty eyes. And I just wanted to cry because I didn't have eyelashes anymore. And I guess I do have green eyes. But it was still like really sad because I still felt terrible about myself. And then in 7th grade I started pulling on my scalp too, so the next year I didn't even do cheerleading because I was like, well, I can't put my hair up in a ponytail, and so what's the point? And gymnastics was like the one thing I ever really had passion for. Like, that gave me an adrenaline rush. I was so happy with gymnastics, and I picked it up pretty fast. You know, like I picked up a back handspring in like a month, and I was working on my full before I left. And there was another Courtney there, and she was gorgeous, of course, and she was really good at gymnastics, and I looked up to her, but, like, I don't know, it was kind of sad being another Courtney because she was really pretty and really good, and I was not so pretty and not so good, at least not as good as her. And so I ended up giving up gymnastics too because I didn't like the way I looked when I put my hair, because I would put it really low down here and it would look awful. I will show that to you maybe, I don't know. And I don't know, like, it was just early downhill from there. From like 7th grade to 10th grade, I pulled my hair here, up here, my scalp, my eyebrows, and my eyelashes. And I looked kind of like a really weird alien. And then, I don't know, 8th grade, I started wearing makeup and fake eyelashes. And I remember, like, this one girl, Oprah, was like, oh, they look like doll eyelashes. And I mean, like, my self-confidence, like I said, was really bad. So, like, even something like that, like, I just wanted to cry. And I remember, like, in health class, actually, the teacher knew what it was, and she was telling the kids about it and stuff because it was, like, awareness so that, like, people wouldn't, you know, judge or anything. No one knew I had it necessarily. They just wanted to talk about it just so kids knew that there are people out there and things like that, and you shouldn't be so judgmental. But actually it made things worse because I was sitting in the back of the class, and, like, one of the, like, I guess, like, cute guys in my school was, you know, making fun of it and pretending like he pulled his hair out and stuff, and I don't know. Definitely don't view him the same anymore. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but that just kind of made me biased. And then, so when I started wearing fake eyelashes, I probably wore them for about a good 1.5 to 2 years, and just this last December. And it got me in the habit of not pulling my eyelashes because when I wore them, if you pulled on them a little bit, like at the corners and stuff, they would start to fall off, and then people would see that it didn't have any eyelashes. So I stopped pulling on it because I didn't want people to know, and I didn't want to run to the bathroom and be like, I would say things, like I'd talk to the teacher, I'd be like, I'm on a period, I need to go change or something. So they would let me go to the bathroom, but I never really actually did what I was saying I was doing. I just took the glue in there and reapplied them because I was, like, stressed out. And then I would shade in my eyebrows with, like, my eyeliner, and people would make fun of that too, like, drawn on eyebrows and stuff, like, haha, it's so funny. And then it started getting better. Like I said, I wore the fake eyelashes for a really long time, and then I took them off last December because I was starting to grow my own again, and if any of you are dealing with this, when they grow in on the corners, it's freakishly itchy. You'll be laying in bed, like, trying to get to sleep, and it's like, scratch. And, it was really hard to get to sleep some nights, but, I mean, they grew back, and I definitely had, like, it's a process. It's not going to just get better overnight. Like, you're not going to say, I'm not going to pull anymore after today. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be more like, well, at least for me anyway, it was more like, okay, well, I really need to work on this. If I pull out, you know, 2 less hairs than yesterday, then I'm already improving. And you can't really look at it like all or nothing. And I actually went to a therapist for a while, and she told me that too, and that really helped. You can't say, well, if I pull 1 hair out today, then should I even try today? I'll just try again tomorrow. You can't do that. Every time you don't pull, it's a victory. And I know it's hard. Like, there's so many, we live in a society where immediate results are like everything. Like, you know, I go to my Keurig and I just press the button and I get my coffee. Like, that's fantastic. But with Trich, it's not immediate results at all. And I think that's really frustrating because as soon as I stop pulling, I want this back. So I can put my hair up in a ponytail again. And it doesn't work like that. And unfortunately, you know, you have to keep fighting, and you have to keep telling yourself, okay, well, it's going to get better. It has to get better. And you can't just give up because you pulled, you know, a few that day. And I'm not, trust me, I'm exaggerating that. There was quite often where I would pull a lot in a day, and I'd tell myself, okay, no more. Like, if I pull 1 or 2 more, that's okay. But every time I don't pull, that's even better. You have to, like, get in that mindset that you're just trying your hardest. And I'm probably going to be dealing with this for the rest of my life. And it's really hard, but you have to, like, do it. And, so anyway, I got my eyelashes back. I stopped wearing them, the fake eyelashes, last December. And these are real, which is fantastic, because when I was little, before I started pulling them, they're really long and dark. And this has mascara on, because trust me, they're not this, like, they're not like that when I'm not wearing mascara. I mean, they're still long, but you can't see because, you know, like, the tips are white and stuff. And then this is real, too, which hasn't been like that for a really long time. I still shade this in, actually, with mascara, which is kind of weird, because people are like, well, why not use an eyebrow brush? And I'm like, because it looks like I drew it on, and, like, I don't know. It's really nice having these back, and I can't describe to you how happy I am, like, just to have that and stuff. And I probably look at myself in the mirror way more than I should. Like, just making this video, I'm like, oh, look at my eyelashes, look at, like, I don't know, it's nice to be this again. But I mean, look at this. This is where I decided to make this video, because I never would have made this before if I was still, like, you know, having like such a hard time as I was, because I don't have the self-confidence. I'm definitely better than I used to be. Like, like this one kid in, like, computer class, he's like, hi, and I was literally like, don't look at me, like, don't look at me. And I'm definitely better than I used to be. And I mean, this is, like, you know, just the damage here. And actually recently I've been, like, you see how it's a little thinner right there? That's been a little bit of an issue recently. But I mean, like, all of this, and, like, I don't know if you can see, but there's still a little bit of an issue right there, and, like, all of this, and then it's on the other side, too, like, all of this, and right there's still a little bit of an issue. I mean, it's definitely a process, but I mean, like, just this, that's a result. And I guess I probably should give you a picture of what I used to look like. There was a period in middle school where I went goth, and actually I've always been kind of predisposed to that, because I've always loved the image of, like, the darker stuff, like gothic and punk, and I love screamo music. Like, definitely when I turned to that stuff in middle school, like purple hair and things like that, I listened to a lot of the music, the stereotypical music with that. And I mean, my music tastes are really well-rounded. I will listen to just about everything and anything, and I'm pretty quick to judge music, but most of the time I end up liking it. Country, rap, rock, classical, weird Korean music, I don't really care. Dubstep for sure, I love dubstep. And, I mean, you know, pop, I don't really like pop a whole lot, but you listen to it enough and it grows on you. So, I mean, it's definitely, so back to the goth thing, I need to stay on track. I was goth for about a good year, because when I was wearing, like, the fake eyelashes and shading my eyebrows, I kind of incorporated that into the look, like, okay, well, I'm gonna wear heavy-set makeup and stuff. And I'm actually still wearing quite a lot of makeup right now. I had lip gloss on earlier, but I guess it's gone. Actually, I think I foundation, eyeliner, mascara, and mascara. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was goth for a year, and then I stopped doing that when I started getting better, and that was a terrible year. And I'm sure kids do. Oh, something else I've dealt with, this is actually not something I've had all my life. You get this when you hit puberty, if you're going to get it, and that's scoliosis, which means your back starts curving. That was fun. Probably the most important gym test you will ever take, and I failed. You know, where they have you bend over and they're like, okay, we gotta check for humps. And I failed that, and I went to a doctor, and they braced me for a year and a half, which was like this big plastic hunky thing that I, like, had to wear, like, as much as I possibly could, like, maybe 3 hours out of it a day. I didn't necessarily do that, but that was what they asked me to do. I had a really hard time adjusting to it, but I'm not really going to talk about that right now. And so I also